friends, welcome to InvestWorks. In this series of videos that I'll be publishing, I'll help you plan your savings and investments so that you are able to meet your financial objectives. First, it is important to know what your financial objectives are, and they could be very different for different individuals. Some of the common financial objectives which most Indians have are buying a house, planning for your retirement, and your child education per se. There could also be shorter term financial objectives like buying your next car, buying your next phone, or planning for your next vacation. Once you have identified your financial objectives, you identify what kind of amount you would like to keep for each of these financial objectives. In this video, I'll take you through an example where I'll elaborate more in this regard. Once you have identified the amount that you want to keep for your financial objective, you can work backwards and identify how much do you want to invest to meet your financial objective. Once you have identified that investment amount, straight away we start planning our allocations per se. If you have the money to invest to meet your financial objective, that's great. But in case you don't have, because you have just started or you have a lot of financial requirements from your family per se, then it's okay, nothing to bother about, because we'll start small but we can do a catch up as years go by, your salaries increase and you get extra bonuses from time to time. Once you have identified your starting amount, then we can start using various asset classes like equities, bonds and real estate based on two parameters. One, their attractiveness at a given point of time, and second, your investment style and philosophy. Let me take you through a very simple example. Let's say your monthly household expenditure right now is around 30,000 rupees per month. 20 years later, as you retire, if 7% is the annual rate of inflation that we consider, this same 30,000 rupees per month will go to around 1.2 lakhs per month, which is close to around 14.5 lakhs per year. That means the savings and investment that we make today in the next 20 years should generate a capital for us such that it should generate around 14.5 lakhs every year for us. Let's say we are able to two parameters. One, their attractiveness at a given point of time, and second, your investment style and philosophy. Let me take you through a very simple example. Let's say your monthly household expenditure right now is around 30,000 rupees per month. 20 years later, as you retire, if 7% is the annual rate of inflation that we consider, this same 30,000 rupees per month will go to around 1.2 lakhs per month, which is close to around 14.5 lakhs per year. That means the savings and investment that we make today in the next 20 years should generate a capital for us such that it should generate around 14.5 lakhs every year for us. Let's say we are able to make 7% as return on the money that we have been able to create over the next 20 years. That means if we want 14.5 lakhs and 7% is the rate of return, then we will need approximately 2 crores as the capital to be formed, which will generate 14.5 lakhs for us. This 2 crores might seem a lot of money today, right? Now let me take you through one more example. Let's say if I am saving 10,000 rupees every month and I am able to make 12% return per year, then in the next 10 years, my 10,000 invested every year should become something closer to around 23 lakhs. In 20 years, my 10,000 saved every month should become something between 85 lakhs to 1 crore. My 10,000 rupees saved every month, if I am able to save it for the next 30 years and I am getting 12% return, should become something between 3 and 3.5 crores. So, in our previous example, we wanted 2 crores for our capital formation to plan for our retirement. In this example, we saw that if we save 10,000 rupees every month, we can reach a number between 90 lakhs to 1 crore in 20 years time frame. So if we want to achieve 2 crores as a number, then we have to double up 10,000, which is we'll have to save 20,000 rupees every month and allocate our money properly so that we are able to grow it at 12% and thereby meet 2 crores of our capital formation requirement, which will take care of our post-retirement expenses. In the next series, I will talk more about what are the various attributes that form part of fixed income, real estate and equity. And I will discuss more about an instrument called liquid funds and money market funds and their efficacy in day-to-day life. Thank you.